Ladies and gents, boils and ghouls, small furry animals of the forest, please give a big, fat, blood-soaked welcome to the baddest bear on the block, Winnie the Pooh himself, Mr. Craig Dowsett.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Welcome to the Dean of the Dead podcast, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on the show.
Man, thank you so much for coming on the show. This is like my third attempt at trying to run a podcast. I think I've done 3 episodes in like a year and a half, and then I kind of got to the stage. I was like, right, I'm gonna have a third attempt. We're gonna get back to it because I love doing these chats. They're always such fun, and you're the first guest back on. So,
I'm honoured to be the first guest. Thank you.
Yeah, man, it's great to have you here. So yeah, welcome to the show. I know your schedule is mad.
Also, Dean, sorry, you didn't have 3 attempts for 3 seasons. This is the first
exactly.
Season 1.
It's true. It's true. This is the 4th episode of season 1. So yeah, man, welcome to the show. I know your schedule is mad busy these days, so thank you for giving up your time to be here. So Craig, we actually met at the London Film and Comic Con last month. You were such a super nice guy, man. It was really nice to meet you. Your portrayal of Winnie the Pooh, however, he's a bad motherfucker, that bear.
Yeah.
He certainly is, man. So like, how do you prep for getting into that character? Like, what was your kind of, when he was on set, to kind of put you in that mind space of like being a big killer?
Yeah, so basically when I got the script sent through, read through the scripts, I knew like what was going on, the kills and how they wanted the bear to be portrayed. I sort of went down the route of going back and watching old horror franchises like
nice.
Halloween, Friday the 13th, even like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacres, and basically just tried to take a little bit of each of their character and blend it one, as well as putting my own unique sort of take and perspective on it. And I just tried to make him as menacing as possible, really, because it's Winnie the Pooh. How do you make that?
Right.
Exactly.
That's the challenge you have to start. How do you make that fun, loving yellow bear scary?
Become a badass. Yeah.
It's just all about menacing movements, being sadistic, toying with your kills, and just being relentless and trying to make him as scary as possible.
Because I guess like there is elements in there of like Jason, the way that Jason moves, his big kind of hunkering figure, and then we actually, one of the interviews we did do, one of the 3 we did with Bob Elmore, who played Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and we asked him a similar sort of question, and he said that he would watch Gunnar Hansen in the first movie and watch all his movements, and then he tried to kind of put his own spin on that, which I thought was quite cool. And saying about how heavy the chainsaw was, all this kind of stuff. So it's always interesting to know like how you guys get into that mind frame, as I say, because you're a lovely dude, and then all of a sudden you're just this evil bear.
You got to switch it on.
Yeah, man. No, you do a great job. So how did you actually land the role of Winnie the Pooh? And when you were first presented with the idea, did you think, what? Well, like, Winnie the Pooh? What?
Yeah, so I worked with the director, Reese Frake Waterfield, on a previous movie called The Area 51 Incident.
Okay.
And I basically kept in touch with them because we got on well on set. I liked working with them on their stuff. And I just dropped them a message saying, hey guys, what you got coming up? Anything you need people for, or you think I would suit? And a
life-changing message.
it was, when you look back now, it definitely was. And they literally came back and said, we've got this movie, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Would you like to play the role of Pooh Bear? So at first I was scratching my head thinking that they've been out on the piss all night or something, or they're having a wind-up with me. But I said, okay, that sounds interesting. And I was like, it's going to be loads of fun. So sign me up.
Definitely, man. And the thing is, with things like that, because the first time I heard about the film, I was like, Winnie the Pooh. But then it's so batshit crazy. It's going to be fun. It's going to be brilliant. It's going to be like fun, basically. It's so crazy that it just works. You know what I mean?
Yeah. When the first images went out, it's people thought it was a hoax at first. People were like, no, this can't be real. This can't be real. And I generally think they didn't think it was real until the trailer dropped.
Yeah.
And then, boom, everyone was like, holy shit, this is actually a real movie.
That's so funny, man. That's so funny. Let's pass it over to Dustin, man. Dustin, you want to fire some questions?
Yeah, sure. So I'm always really intrigued, especially when I do things on my show, when I'm getting to know anybody that we're interviewing, is to kind of know like where everything started. And I'm curious to know, like, where did acting or stunt performing or anything like that, where did that kind of begin for you?
Yeah, so it began for me through martial arts. I've got a martial arts background over the last 8-9 years now. And I was like, at some point, I was like, you know what, I'd really love to transition this into like stage combat, screen combat, doing fight and action scenes. So I started off going down that route and traveling the country, going to train with people who were already doing that, learning the trade, learning from them. And then through them, it was, you make more contacts, you meet more people. And then by chance, things came up that were just like not even fighting or anything like that, just acting roles. So I was like, you know what, let's try my hand at this as well and see how I get on. Because, acting's a big industry. There's many, many different parts to it. So I was like, yeah, okay, let's look beyond doing fight scenes and try for some normal acting roles. And then I come upon this.
Oh wow! It's funny because like Bob Elmore again, going back to that, just real quick. Like again, when I was chatting with him, he said he never had any desire to be an actor at all. He was he used to work at Knott's Berry Farm. Dustin, I know you'll be familiar. It's over in the States. I don't know if you heard of that one, Craig. It's like I don't know what it is by day, a farm, I guess.
Yeah,
but then
it's like a normal farm thing, and then Halloween they turn it.
Yeah, spooky. Halloween they have like a huge big like haunted house attraction thing. It's like world renowned, and he worked there, so that was his first kind of acting role, I guess. But he was like, I never had any desire to be an actor, and just all of a sudden fell into the role of Leatherface. Like, wow. So, yeah, pretty crazy stuff, man. Oh, go talking about the stunt work. Would you have you done much stunt work, and would you ever take it to the heights of say Tom Cruise doing this crazy motorbike? I don't know if you've seen the recent film where he I actually watched it's like a clip of him driving his motorbike and he goes off the end of this ramp and then just freebase falls off it. I was like, what? No, never.
No, I haven't. I'm yet to see that yet. I definitely want to go and see it. But no, I've done some very small stunt scenes and bits and pieces like that before. But no, I can't see myself going to the extremes of doing what Tom Cruise does.
Never say never, man. Never say never.
How he's still doing it and smashing it in a later age in life. Amazing. So credit to him.
Dan's falling over.
But yeah, I couldn't do that now. I mean, I'm only 41, and my body will be like, nah.
This is where Winnie the Pooh Part 3 is. Yeah, the director's got you jumping out of a helicopter.
that would be
like going around on, like on a big wheel, like standing like on a big Ferris wheel or something at the top, and bungee jumping off of it. You're like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Mr. Dan Brownlee, over to you, my man. You got some questions?
I do. There's a couple of things I'd like to say. What I really like about the portrayal of Winnie the Pooh is that one of the things, the reason why I like the idea of the film, it's one of those questions you actually ask yourself as a kid, is what happens when Christopher Robin grows up?
Yeah.
Because you're like, well, what would happen? And it kind of answers that in a really fucked up way. And I thought, because it's like, it's a childhood question. It's now been answered. I also like the way you just made him absolutely fucking unstoppable, because I really picked up till the end and I was like, oh, he's just a fucking machine. You cannot kill him. But he's absolutely indestructible. But the main question, apart from blabbering on, I'm a blabberer and a fan, so I apologise. What's the difference to you between acting under a mask and outside a mask? Because you've done both, and it is a very full-on mask.
Yeah.
So all your actor facial expressions are completely obscured.
Yeah, exactly. Acting with the mask is totally different to acting without. So when you're acting in a mask, you've got to portray everything through body language, because the the audience can't see your facial expressions, your facial movements, your emotions. So you've got to do everything through body language. Whether it's about a mask, you can do your facial reactions, your expressions. You can put across more through that. But yeah, it's they did some post edit bits on Winnie the Pooh's mask, which was VFX for like the sadistic grins and the nose twitch and the ears would move, just so it wouldn't look like a static mask on screen. So they added some little bits like make him look more real.
I did wonder how, when I saw the ears twitch, I wondered how they did that. Is it like a sort of almost like a remote control or like an animatronic kind of thing? Like, how did they make that?
I assumed it's fishing wires.
What's that?
That was in.
Sorry, Dan, say again.
I assumed it was fishing wires, like with killer clowns. I just thought they like fishing wire the ears and like they pulled them.
Yeah, no, that was all CGI.
Okay.
Yeah,
practical and CGI, the best way to do it.
The ears, the nose, the grins that when he was doing that was all CGI. Yeah, just so it wasn't a static mask, so it didn't look.
It looked like practical effects. It looked like actually the CGI is that good. It actually looked like
Oh yeah, that's the best way to do it in my opinion. Is like if you're gonna do anything CGI, always mix it with practical. I mean, CGI is good. Like nowadays, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but you can always tell when it's just CGI.
We tried to do most of it was practical effects, and then just tweaked a little bit afterwards with CGI.
That's so cool, man.
Awesome.
Go, Dan.
Just quick follow-up. Did you get to keep the masks?
I have got my own mask. Yeah, I've got the full costume.
Have you?
Yeah.
Nice. Have you got the weapons as well?
I've got some weapons. Yeah, not the ones I used on set, but the costume is the one I used on set. So I've got the full costume, which I take around with me to.
That's pretty cool.
Is this it?
That's the one. Yeah.
Is that the actual one? Is that the actual one from the film?
Yeah.
Oh wow, man! I was saying to these guys because I've done tons of Comic-Cons and met loads of guests along the way. This is one of my favorite pictures I've ever had with a guest, man. I love it. It's so fun. That's brilliant. And now I know it's the actual mask from the film. I love it even more.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You came back twice, didn't you? Because they cut the top of your head off.
Yeah, that's right. They cut. I think they cut your ears off or something in the photo.
No.
They cut the ears off in the photo, so the guy was like, "Oh, go around again and have it done again." And he's going to think Craig's going to think, "What the fuck is this guy doing, man?"
Yeah, I remember seeing you like for the first photo, and then at the end you were back in. I was like, deja vu.
Getting a tool ready, you're like, "Oh, what's he doing? What's this guy going to do? Is he crazy? What's going on?" Oh no, that's cool, man. That's cool. So yeah, man, we were saying earlier on when you first came on that you've literally been here, there, and everywhere. That you're always rocking up in America. You're certainly going to Germany. What has been your favorite part of like your whirlwind press tour, man? You're all over the place. So, any particular memories? Your favorite part of everything you've been up to?
It basically meeting all the fans, because they're what make the film special.
Yeah.
Because that's what you try and do as an actor and a performer. You want to entertain, and you want the fans to like what you're doing. And the horror fans are absolutely amazing. Probably one of the best categories of fans you can have, and they've all been so supportive and amazing towards me. They've welcomed me into the horror community with open arms. That's my favourite part of all of this is all the fans that have been giving me good comments, well wishings. Yeah, that's really special.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, the horror community is a special place to be involved. My first ever event that I did, as from my side of things as a trader, was a horror event, and I'd never done one before. And I was just like, everyone here is lovely. Everyone is so friendly. And then we did For the Love of Horror in Manchester, and the same sort of thing. And then you kind of see the same people on the circuit, and it is just a really nice community to be involved in. Everyone kind of supports each other. and Winnie the Pooh has definitely got a lot of love within the community, which is cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's been taken quite well by most. I mean, at first, you had the die-hard Winnie the Pooh fans that were like, "You're ruining my childhood," and this is you get like 50-year-olds. You're ruining my childhood. Like, no, mate, your childhood's long gone. You get some dramatic people, but
if someone says they ruined your childhood,
yeah.
So if someone says they ruined your childhood, say, no, that's your paedophile uncle. There you go, shut them up. You can have that on free.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But the way I look at it is, if they're not happy with it, then don't watch it. It's simple as
exactly.
Everybody's got a choice.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And you know what people are like, dude? Everyone has to have their say. You're just like, if you got I always think, if you've got nothing good to say, just shut the fuck up. Move on to something else, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone has to say their piece. The internet is a wonderful thing, and everyone just has got a soapbox. But so you do a ton of Comic-Con appearances as well. You've got Germany coming up. I've just seen you've been announced for Bournemouth, which I think is that Showmasters as well.
That is,
Showmasters. They're cool. They put on the London Film and Comic-Con's a great event. That's a really cool event. So you do a ton of Comic-Con appearances. You got a ton coming up. So far along the way, have you had any weird fan experiences? Like, have you met anyone that's maybe got like a blood and honey fetish or something? I don't know.
Yeah, when I was in Orlando for Spooky Empire, I had...
It's got to be America. I knew it had to be America.
Yeah, I had this woman come up to me.
It's got to be Orlando.
I had this crazy woman come up to me and start shouting at me, "What have you done to my favourite childhood character?" Proper, going into one. I couldn't... Really? I genuinely couldn't tell if she was being, sarcastic and mucking around or not. So I was just like, okay.
And was she? Or was she serious?
I don't know. I think she was a few beers short of a crate, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Especially, Spooky Empire.
So I just said...
Again, if someone says... Sorry.
Yeah.
Dan, go on.
So I was like, if someone says, what did you use my childhood character? I made it cool and relevant. Done.
Yeah.
I've been sorted.
Yeah. At the end of it, I just said to her, do you want a picture?
Yeah. Wow.
That's funny, man. Dustin, over to you, broski.
Okay, sure. So I have a few, and you kind of already answered one, but I want to ask it anyway. Since you said you started out into doing martial arts and you were doing some sort of stunts, for this film in particular, did you do all of your own stunts?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah. All of my own stunts. Yeah. There was no stunt doubles or anything involved. Yeah. It's all me.
Oh wow. Was there one that was more difficult than any of the other ones? Like, was there one that you had to do multiple times that you just could not get right?
Not too bad. I mean, the ones that were more challenging were the forest night scene ones where I'm running through the forest because I couldn't see much in that mask anyway. And then you've got the smoke machines going as well. So all your senses are thrown out. Once you put that kind of mask on, it's really, really tight and restrictive. You can't breathe out your nose. You can't hear anything out your ears. You can't see much. All your senses are thrown out. So when you're trying to you've got all the gear on and you're trying to run through the forest or something, it's quite challenging.
Into a tree.
I'm going to run into a tree or I'm going to break my ankle or something. So I'd say more the really, really dark forest ones were the hardest to film for me. And if I'm running through the forest, because I couldn't breathe very well in it, you're running, you're getting out of breath, and that just ramps up the heat inside the mask as well. So bits like that were a bit challenging, but you're creating something fun and unique, so you just power through.
Yeah.
Another thing, this kind of goes along with you were talking about the mask and everything. Was that real honey being used on screen?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, much to my dislike because I don't like the taste of honey. So that scene where I'm gorging from the honey pot, it's quite funny because in the background I can hear the director going, "Put more in your mouth, get more in your mouth," and I'm thinking, I'm thinking, fuck. Mate. And all right, so the noises you hear of him like gorging on the honey, that's actually me reaching, like going.
Yeah, that was a lot. Like that scene went on for a long time of you like really like going on that, and it looks great on screen. Just like the way that it was lit, and just how drippy it was. It added so much, and that was really cool. So to hear that it was real honey. That's really cool.
Yeah. It all got inside the mask. It was all stuck to my beard.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Turned into cement. You can't get the mask off now. You got to live with it.
Yeah.
It dries like clay, man. Trying to get out your beard must have been a bit tricky.
Yeah. A funny story. After one of the blocks of shooting, this is like 4 or 5 in the morning. We wrapped. I took the mask off and forgot I still had the yellow eye paint around my eyes. So I went to the petrol station or gas station for America on the way home to fill up. Went to the cashier desk and they were looking at me funny because
meth, sir.
That was quite memorable. Look at their faces, and I was like, "Oh my god, I forgot about that."
That's so funny, man. Where was the movie shot? Whereabouts was all of the woodland set? Where?
Ashdown in Kent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. There needs to be a when they do like a tour guide of when people do like what's the Grim Life Collective? They do a lot of on location where films are shot.
Yeah.
The UK version, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
So Mr. Dan Brownlee, over to you, my friend. Some questions.
I noticed there were some characters missing from the lexicon of Winnie the Pooh. So if you had a choice to either play another character or add another character into a possible sequel, what would it be?
Oh, yeah. If I could, I'd have to go with Tigger because he's just nuts.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
boy.
Bouncing around everywhere, slicing and dicing. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. But he wasn't in the original because he was still copyrighted.
I wondered why. So Disney owned the rights to Tigger, right?
Yeah, because he came in the second book, I do believe, not in the first book. So the first book was released, which went into public domain in January 2022. But I think Tigger was in the second book, so he's got a little bit longer to run before he's in public domain.
Oh man, that'd be so cool once that public domain runs out and you can introduce that character in one of the movies. I'm sure penciled in.
I know this is the beauty of public domain now. People have been saying to me, you've opened up this whole new subgenre now for ruining childhoods. Basically, all these characters coming in to public domain. You can just do anything with them. Just
That's great.
Yeah, it's just like Pinocchio right now too is in public domain. So there's video games coming out, like a bunch of films coming out. So I want to see you at Pinocchio.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Do you know who comes into public domain next year?
No.
Steamboat Willie.
Steamboat Willie.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That would be cool.
You need to be the guy who plays all the public domain characters from like everybody's childhood. So you need to be the one.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Tinkerbell when make a good when she's public domain. You kill her, Tinkerbell.
Someone on a convention asked me once, what character would you like to play if you could? And I said Donald Duck.
Oh, love Donald Duck.
Because he's got anger issues. He loses his shit all the time.
It's true, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would you like a killer Donald Duck?
Yeah, exactly.
That would be cool.
Yeah, because he's always losing his shit, going mad. So yeah,
whacking and spitting all over the place, and that would be funny. That was going to be another one of my questions. Actually, like aside from the horror version of Winnie the Pooh, and aside from Donald Duck, if you had to kind of pick one of the heavy hitters, or just another horror character like the Freddy's, the Jasons, any in particular that you'd like to have a crack at if you got the opportunity?
I'd love to have a crack at Jason Voorhees. Yeah.
I feel like that could be a possibility for you down the line, man. They're always making new Friday the 13th.
Let's get you in that TV show, man.
And also seeing how you played such an unstoppable Winnie the Pooh, that's what Jason Voorhees is. Is that I mean, it was portrayed so strongly that he was fucking unbreakable.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see that translation quite easily.
Yeah, I'd love to have a go at that in the future. That would be an absolute dream come true. That Michael Myers as well. Yeah, for me, they're the big hitters.
Well, man, if you ever play Michael Myers, I'll have to add you to my mask. I've got a Jason mask. It's slowly getting filled up with the Jasons that are still alive, still with us. So yeah, maybe hopefully add you to that one day, man. When you take on that role.
Awesome, yeah.
So there's whispers of a sequel in the pipeline.
Yeah, they are. They're filming a sequel. I think they're going to start shooting the end of this month or beginning of September.
Oh, wow, that's soon.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I'm not reprising the role for the sequel. Yeah, they're going down a different route where I'm not sure if it's going to be set in the future or the past. But yeah, literally, none of the characters from the first film are in the second one. They're going down a totally different route with it.
Really?
So, I'm sure it all will be revealed in the film when it's out. But yeah,
different universe,
which is weird because you think they'd want to carry on the icon.
Yeah, I found it strange myself, but unfortunately, it's not my decision. I've just got to roll with it, really. I mean,
at least you're the OG. Sorry,
at least for like continuity, you know. If it's going to look different, I don't know how that's going to work, and I think people are going to pick up on that.
Yeah, but even especially like how this movie ended, it's like you could almost pick it up as like a Halloween 2, you know, picking up the same night of just continuing that story. Like that's what I was expecting. Like after I heard like the rumors of this, I was like, oh, so they're gonna Halloween 2 it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what their end game is with the sequel, but they've obviously got their own plan and ideas, and I've just got to respect that, really. And yes, their decision. I'm just thankful for being the
OG. You're the OG, man.
Yeah, and all the.
I have my photo with the
OG. Awesome.
Dan, over to you.
Right, I mean, you can't really see him, but I'm a huge horror figure collector. I heard a rumor just before we started recording this, just for a line, that you're actually getting the Winnie the Pooh action figure. Do you know anything about this?
That would be amazing. I haven't heard anything about that myself. I mean, I've got my own custom ones that fans have made for me and sent me. But if there is going to be one, then that's phenomenal. I also heard a rumor about a video game as well.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah, that would be incredible too. Yeah, that's just phenomenal for.
Go record the mocap for that.
Yeah. Can you do the bother before each kill?
Yeah, you have to do the you left.
Yeah. If these things are happening, then that's fantastic. Yeah, fantastic for the film and the people involved. It's just fairy tale, really, because when we started shooting this, it was originally designed just to go straight to DVD, you know, a DVD B movie. But then we broke the internet with the images when they first come out, and was fortunate enough to get a worldwide cinema release. So yeah, absolute fairy tale journey.
It's incredible, and it really took off in the US as well, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it really did. Yeah, huge following in the US. Absolutely amazing following in the US.
Yeah, like the tail end of last year and this year, it really has been like I want to say like the year of indie films, especially indie horror, for how many have gone to theaters and worldwide releases and everything, and being able to see this in a theater, which I did, was amazing. It was a great theater experience, and I'm so happy to see all these filmmakers and you know, actors like yourself being able to be on a big screen, because this wouldn't have happened like say 10 years ago. You know, it would just be impossible. It would be a direct to video type thing. So
the public domain then.
Yeah, that too. It would be like a YouTube like fan edit or something. You know.
Yeah, it's definitely been a year for indie horror films, like you say, especially with the guys from like Terrifier. They're absolutely smashing it, aren't they? Absolutely smashing it, and fair play to them. They all deserve it. They've done an amazing job. So really exciting times for indie horror at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. They've kind of really raised the bar as well for indie horror.
Oh yeah, really.
I mean, even some of like Damien Leone's really early films were just, I don't know, that's something about it, just a real darkness to it, which is great, you know, and it's what you want from a horror film. You want to see some really deep, dark shit. And he created some mad characters from like another realm. And then, all, you know, this art, the clown characters sort of cut through it all and has become the main sort of horror, now a huge horror icon now.
Yeah.
So it is really cool to see that. And then I'm really interested to see number 3 because they're always trying to push it, like with the gore and with the, you know, because there was that's. I'm guessing you've seen 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Terrifies, yeah. So the first one where the chick gets cut in half, and everyone was just like, "Oh God, that's fucking awful." And then they were like, "Wait till you see 2." And then you've got the alley scene on the bed where she gets all kinds of things happen to her. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, you topped the kill from the first one." And they're like, "Wait till you see number 3." I'm like, "What the? How could you fucking get any more brutal than you've already got?"
I'd love to be in number 3 if they're still filming it. I'm just putting that out there, yeah. Or we'll do Winnie the Pooh versus Art the Clown. You know,
you're in
that. Yeah,
that'd be cool, dude. You're in them circles, man. Just reach out to Phil Falcone, the producer. Reach out to Damien Leone, man. I don't know who you are, man. You're Winnie the Pooh. Get me in a fucking costume.
I'm with them at Frightmare in the Falls actually in October. They're booked on the same show, so yeah, I'll definitely be having conversations with them there.
Definitely start having those conversations for sure.
They're really cool guys. They're really nice guys, actually. I've met Dustin, haven't you? I've met them at For the Love of Horror, which actually is another convention. It'd be great to see you at For the Love of Horror. That's a great one.
I'd love to. Yeah, it's an amazing horror show in the UK. I'd love to be on that.
Man, even if you just rocked up, people would be like, "Damn, Craig's here." That'd be great.
Just go in there in costume, and people would think that's somebody who made it. It's just like you actually with the costume and the mask. That would be that'd be cool.
Like cosplay, and then you whip the mask off, and they're like, "Oh, it's actually the guy that played."
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, keep an eye out for that. It might actually happen. Yeah, I'm sure I'll be there in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, man, that'd be great. Well, I'm working there, so I'll be keeping my eye out for you, man. If I see a Winnie the Pooh, I'm like,
just stay at Dean's stall and just like pass honey along. Start handing out honey.
See, this is the thing. I reached out so because I know I make the horror themed hot sauces, and we do a few. Actually, funnily enough, I got the okay to do one for Terrifier from the producers, but the red tape was just insane, man. There's so much because it's a big IP now, which is understandably there's a lot of legal stuff, which is fair enough, but it kind of put a bit of a halt to the collaboration because I didn't understand half of it. I was like, I don't understand what this means. And I actually asked the director of Reese, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Just on the off chance, I was like, "Hey man, do you fancy a horror themed Winnie the Pooh hot sauce?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." But you have to speak to a lady. He gave me a lady's email, so I'm yet to contact. But yeah, that would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. A blood and honey hot sauce. Yeah.
Blood orange and honey.
No,
man.
actual blood. This has to be actual blood this time, Dean.
Watch this space, and then Craig, you can come along to the shows at the Comic Cons, man, and you can have a section on the table there, and you can sell the blood and honey hot sauce.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
I was spitballing. So, have you been a lifelong horror fan? Have you always been into horror films since you were young?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, big horror fan. Even sci-fi horror like Alien. Going back, the original Predators. The Halloween franchise, Nightmare on Elm Street. Love them all. Yeah. Always my go-to if I want to kick back, relax, and watch a movie. Always one of those is my go-to.
Awesome. And do you, when you're doing conventions, when you're doing like horror cons, do you sometimes find yourself amongst people where you've seen their movies and you're like, holy shit? Like for example, this isn't horror, but you were next to Cassandra from Only Fools and Horses at LFCC, and like she's like that program over here in the UK, Dustin. I don't know if you're that familiar with it, but Dan, you'll know. That's a legendary program. That's a British institution, that program. And there you are, just working alongside them, man.
Oh, it's phenomenal. I kept winding my missus up because she come with me. I kept saying, I'm going to introduce you to her as my significant other. You better not.
Brilliant.
But yeah, being there with people like that, I was there with Chuck Norris.
Yeah, Chuck Norris, man.
Amazing, just the people I've met on the Comic-Con tour, like in Spooky Empire in Orlando. Evil Dead Rise had just come out, and Alyssa Sutherland was there. Got to meet her and chat to her. DJ Graham was there, who was Jason.
The great guy.
The people I've met is so cool.
Did you get to hang out with Chuck Norris in the green room in London?
Yeah. We were all in the green room together. Yeah.
That's crazy, awesome. Man. He's quite small. He walked past me. He was quite small, but he'd still fuck all of us up.
He'll kick your ass. He just has to point at you and you're done.
Yeah. Just looks at you and you're like, okay, I'm dead.
Yeah, man. But yeah, there was some real legends there. There's some real legends there, and of course yourself. And what would you say is your favorite horror movie of all time, if you had to pick one? I know it's like for me it's like naming my favorite kid out of my two kids, which there's a lot to choose from. But yeah, if you had to kind of pick one that you always gravitate back towards, or one that's kind of always stuck with you throughout your life.
Yeah, I mean, it got a lot of negativity, which I don't think was fair. But one of my favourites is actually Freddy versus Jason.
Oh yeah, I like that film.
That's had a resurgence as of late, so
at each other,
Yeah, I really enjoyed that film, and actually as well, you had two or three of the guests from that movie at that Comic-Con as well. They were there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were. Yeah, but yeah, I always enjoy that movie just because it's the only type of one you can see the two horror icons going at each other. I wished along the line they had done Michael Myers versus Jason, or a triple threat. Freddy, Jason, Michael, just crossing over universes and that. It's a shame I never sort of ventured down that route, but
they always do this with comic books. Like you get Freddy. What's the one with Ash? There's an Ash.
Do you know what? I have a fun fact. That was actually meant to be the sequel.
What was
Freddy versus Jason versus Ash was meant to be the sequel.
Oh wow! Okay,
and it got really far along, and it got canned beyond belief, and that's why I turned it into a comic.
Oh wow!
I'm guessing Bruce Campbell was on board for that, because you wouldn't have been able to do that without Bruce Campbell.
He fucking must have been.
Yeah,
if I was Bruce, I wouldn't be passing that up.
Can you imagine that though? That would fucking go bananas. Like, imagine if you had a Freddy versus Jason versus Ash. Everyone would be like, "Take my money."
Yeah, exactly. Someone should pick that up. Someone should do that.
It's probably just a lot of production companies like butting heads, going, "Oh, we want this percentage. We want this percentage." But it's always that side of things always gets in the way of creativity, unfortunately.
It does. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So Dustin, you got any, or Dan? Who hasn't asked a question for a while? Dan.
I think we're keeping crisscrossing over. I don't think I've got any ones that haven't been asked already. And the rest of my questions will be repeated.
All right,
here's a question for you.
Okay, Dan.
Being asked what your favourite horror film was, why isn't it Killer Clowns from Outer Space, which is the best horror film ever made?
You're going to hate me. I've never even seen it.
It's free on Netflix.
Dan's coming.
Dan's coming. Amazing.
Dan's coming with his popcorn gun.
Yeah.
Turn you into one of those.
You know, I've never.
It is amazing.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
It is one of those. It is one of those.
Explains why you said it wasn't your favourite film.
It is one of those.
It all makes sense now.
It will be. Maybe it will be once I've watched it.
Yeah, exactly. It's batshit mental, and it's a bit. But it's brilliant. It is brilliant. It's crazy ass film. Yeah, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Dustin, have you got any more?
Yeah, I'll end my questions with this. This is always a really fun one. Out of all of the kills in the film, whether it was one that you did or someone else did, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've actually got two favourites. The first one is the car scene running the head over.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, really brutal and fun to do as well, because first of all, you've got Winnie the Pooh behind the wheel of a car, you know.
It's already ridiculous.
It's happening. It's just like, what? And then, just the build up to it. She's tired out. I'm sitting in the car revving it, and the anticipation and the screaming, and then I just go forward slowly, and then just over the head. Yeah, that was really fun to film as well, with all the smoke, and it just really set the scene. So that was one of my favourites. The second one was at the end with the car explosion scene.
Oh yeah,
because that was like a do or die scene. We had one shot at that with the explosives.
Yes.
And I tell you what, the weather that night was dreadful. It was really stormy. It was raining. It was windy. It nearly got called off, that scene, because the weather. We were like, right, we've got one shot of this. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it ramped up the anticipation, and everybody was like, right, we really got to smash this first time.
Yeah.
And it was in the forest, as you know, and my reference point for the car explosion going off was a stick in a forest.
Yeah.
What?
They're like, right,
Which one?
They laid the stick down and said, right, when you reach this point where I'm walking to it, that's when it's going to go bang. So they were like, right, don't react to it, don't flinch, you know, just keep going like you're the Terminator. So they're like, right, action. So I'm walking along and I'm thinking, fuck, I can't see this stick.
Oh no!
and then suddenly, bang! I couldn't hear it much because I couldn't hear fuck all in the mask. So the first I knew about it was the heat blast up my back, because you could feel the heat.
Oh wow!
Like, okay, that's gone off, and then I see Nikolai and Maria dive down. So that's when I'm like, yep, it's gone off. Okay, keep going, keep going. Awesome. So yeah, just because of everything involved in that scene, and it was like a do or die. So that was one of my other favourites as well.
This is why I love having chats like this, because now I can rewatch that scene knowing that you're just walking along waiting to find a stick. And then feeling the heat blast on the back, you know, it's great, man. I love it.
That,
you know,
which was quite nice because it was cold night, so that heat blast was lovely.
Yeah, man.
Wow,
that's awesome, man.
I do have another question. I hope you haven't covered it, because I wasn't being Dixie at the time. My headphones playing up. So I'm going to rewind a little bit to Freddy versus Jason. If you could have your Winnie the Pooh versus, who would it be?
Good question.
Whew. Wow, yeah. God. Winnie the Pooh versus. I'd have to say Winnie the Pooh versus Jason, because they're both unstoppable. So what happens when you put two unstoppable objects together? That would be really interesting, you know. Yeah. Pooh
both in the woods as well?
Sorry?
Both in the woods? Both in the eating ground?
Yeah, both in the woods. Yeah. Pooh versus Jason. That's what.
And my question now is, which one of those would you want to play? Pooh or Jason? You'll have to play both.
Yeah, I'd like to play both. Yeah, I'll do my scenes in one mask and then quickly change costume into the other and fight against myself. Yeah.
Man, that would be interesting, man. That's so cool. All right, we'll let you off the hook, man. Craig, thank you so much once again for joining us. I know it's been a little bit clunky, but this is our first episode back, so it's fine. We can fix some stuff. But my final question for you is, what's next for you, man? It's such a shame to hear that you're not going to be coming back for Winnie the Pooh Part 2. So what is next for you, dude? What have you got lined up? Anything in a pipeline apart from conventions and appearances and stuff?
Yeah, so I've just been filming this week actually on something I can't say too much about, but it's a different kind of role for me. It's more military based than horror, so I'm excited for that when that comes about. I've also done a little role in a zombie film called The House That Zombies Built.
Okay.
That's coming out next year, early to mid next year. So that's in post production now. So yeah, excited for that. And then I've got a few more filming bits coming up in the near future. So
nice.
Yeah, apart from lots going on. Yeah,
I'm proud of you. Wow, that's awesome.
Well, Thank you. I wish you all the best
off.
And all the success for the rest of your career ahead of you, man. And I really hope to see you rock up as Jason one day, man. That would be incredible. And we can say, you heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first. Future Jason. It's all down to this chat.
Hell yeah.
We're putting it out into the universe.
He's down to the universe, absolutely. No, man, but thanks again, dude. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for having me
Podcast.
on, guys. It's been great.
Awesome.
Cool, man. And we'll catch you on the other side.
Yeah, take care.